Hello, dear kids and chess lovers. So, today we are going to bring a new video on Rook, Bishop, and Queen movement. In the last video, we learnt about the chessboard, the files, the ranks, and the diagonals. And I hope that was quite informative to you. So, let's jump on to the new video now. And let's look at the first piece, which is the Rook. So here we go. Let me bring the Rook on the board. So this is the Rook. And now Rook always moves straight lines in all directions. Okay. So let's have a look. So Rook can move like this, like this, like this, and like this. Okay. So it can go in all the directions except for the diagonals. Now, let's say if Rook had to go on this square. Now, let's try to name this square, which is G8. If Rook has to go to G8, how does the Rook go? So let me first remove the arrows. Okay. So our target is that the Rook goes to G8. So there are two ways to do it. One way is that Rook first goes to G5 and then Rook goes to G8. Okay. There is another way. Can you spot the other way, how the Rook goes to G5? Okay. So the other way is the Rook first goes to D8 and then from D8 it goes to G8. So that's how a Rook moves. Now let's do one more position for the Rook. Let me take off all the arrows. Now let's say the Rook needs to go to H1. So where is the H1? So this is the H1, the highlighted square. Now I'm just pausing this video for a second. And can you figure out the two ways where this Rook can go to H1? So let's start. So Rook can first go to H5 and then from H5 it goes to H1. Okay. Now the other way is the Rook comes to D1 and then from D1 it goes to H1. So that was the movement of the Rook. I hope that was easy. Now let's move on to the other piece and we'll have Bishop. There we go. So we have the Bishop right in the middle of the chessboard. It's on the square D5 and Bishop moves diagonal and it can go any number of squares that it wishes to. And in any direction, it can go backwards, it can go forward, but in diagonals. Okay. So the Bishop can go like this, it can go like this, it can even go like this, or it can even go like this. So let's say if there is something on G8 and if the Bishop is on D5, so Bishop can capture on G8 in just one move. All right. That's how a Bishop moves. Now, let's say, let me give you a small little puzzle. Okay. Let's say if Bishop were to go on D3, can you tell me in how many moves can this Bishop go, that Bishop will take to go on D3? It will take 2 moves. Okay. Now, the Bishop will go on E4 and then the Bishop comes on D3. All right. And similarly, there is the other way around. The Bishop goes on C4 and then the Bishop can come on D3. So that's how a Bishop moves, right? Let me give you one more small little challenge. Okay. What if I say that the Bishop right now is on d5 and it's a light square bishop. Why it's a light square bishop? Because it is on the light square. Okay. Let's say if there is a opponent's piece on, let's say on g1, do you think this bishop can capture if there is something on g1? And the answer is no, because g1 is a dark square and the bishop is on the light square. So it's a light square bishop. A light square bishop will always remain in the light squares. It cannot go to the dark squares. Now let's try to see if it can go on g1, right? The path could be the bishop will try to come here, and then unfortunately the bishop cannot capture because bishop cannot go like this, right? So bishop will go diagonally. So therefore, something which is on g1 cannot be captured by the bishop. So if a bishop is a light square bishop, it will always remain in the light squares. And if the bishop is on the dark square, it will always remain on the dark squares. All right. Now let's move on to the queen movement. Let's learn about the queen. Let me bring in the queen on the board. Here we go. All right. Now the queen is on d5 on the center square. We learnt about the rook. We learnt about the bishop. And now queen is basically nothing but a combination of a bishop and a rook, which means queen can go straight and queen can go diagonal as well, right? So let's try to plot the rook movement for the queen first. So it can go like a rook. Okay. And then it can also go like a bishop, which means it can go diagonals. Like this, like this, like this. So queen can go in all the directions like a bishop and like a rook. And that's why the queen is such a powerful piece, because it has all the possible ways that it can go, right? It can go any number of squares, straight as well as slanting, all right? So that's how a queen moves. So I hope all these three pieces are comfortable to all of you now, that how does a rook, bishop and queen move. Let me just do a quick revision. So rook moves straight, bishop moves slanting, or we can also say diagonals, and the queen is a combination of the rook and the bishop. So queen can move in all the directions. That's why the queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard, and we all love queen so much, right? I hope you found this video quite informative. Looking forward for the next video. Enjoy. Bye-bye.